got some things that's gonna be going off in this showcase here. Now, the thing is basically that Capcom has already announced that there's going to be a showcase, and it looks like they might show gameplay of like Leon and Grace. We saw both of theirs, but mostly Grace's um, gameplay. Uh, Definitely during the time of like what was it, Summer Game Fest, and then like Tokyo Game Show, and then during the Game Awards, we actually get to see like, a little bit more of Leon's gameplay, and they did specify that technically, um, both of their gameplay is going to be differently because Grace's gameplay is like leaning towards to like solving puzzles, but also like hiding at the same time, from what they said. But I'm kind of thinking it could probably be like more to it, you know? Like literally, I'm really thinking there could be more to this whole thing with like Grace's gameplay. With Leon's gameplay, they say his is all actiony because again, he's been like action guy since like 4, and that's how he is, you know. Like he's like super cop, man. Like literally, that's how people tend to describe Leon. He's like a super cop, you know. Um, but anyways, I literally had to avoid like like anything with like Resident Evil Requiem, and I know people were really thinking that oh, there's gonna be a demo for the game like soon because the game is like coming out like like in like less than well actually there's still like like a couple more like let's just say like like a couple more days but also like a month you know but the thing is really like you gotta remember the really thing is that producers did say they don't want to make a demo for it because then it will take a little longer to make a demo build for Requiem. Now, people kind of speculate, like, like it's gonna be the first time, like, that Capcom has literally actually said, well, let's just say the producers for Resident Evil Requiem said that they don't want to because it's gonna take a little longer than that to even like make a demo build for the game. They made one already for like Summer Game Fest, Gamescom, Tokyo Game Show, and that's it, you know? And I know people were speculating, like, when are we getting like a public demo build? They never said nothing. They never said anything about it until they already confirmed there's not going to be one. But maybe, like, they probably changed their minds and maybe, like, they did one already. I don't know. I don't really know for sure if they actually, like, made a demo build of it or not. But, I mean, it just would be amazing, like, if they did. But I don't really think so, you know? But they did. I mean, dude, that would be actually be pretty good. Because like like anybody can like play the game now, and then get ready for Requiem when it comes out. Now, you're probably wondering, uh, since you're talking about like Requiem, did you ever like pre-order your copy? Just to let you guys know, yes, I did. I already pre-ordered my, well, let's just say my digital copy, Resident Evil Requiem. I got the digital deluxe edition for the game. God, I hope they don't like announce like anything else besides that right there, because that's all I saw was like two, the standard one and the digital deluxe edition one. So yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna like keep this short anyway. So I want to see like what are they gonna be showing off for the Resident Evil Showcase. Technically this is under the Game Awards one, because why not, So, anyways, without further ado, let's get to watch. I'll go ahead and full screen this.
In this showcase, we'll go over the latest information on Resident Evil Requiem, which will release next month on February 27.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at some of the gameplay.
Oh, he always has this thing on his neck already. So Leon is back.
はい、出ないとは言ってないですね。いや、言ってないです。まあ実際あの時も話しましたけど、レオンでもうバチバチのホラーのステージをテストしてみたんですけど、
Potential development
やっ
stage
ぱ
will
り
appear in the Vive
こん
version
な
of
レ
the
オン
game.
あん
Oh
ま
wow!
見たくなくないっていう意見が大半だったっていうのは事
Hang on, I think it's acting a little wonky. Drop down to 720.
実としてありますね。今回グレイスとレオンで全然違うになってます。グレイスの方はその RE2 ですとかバイオ7もそうですね、ホラーに特化したゲーム体験になってまして、レオンの方はというと
Is this a
バイオ
video or?
4ですとかバイオ7もそうですね、ホラーに特化したゲーム体験。
Oh snap! It is. It's skipping. Well, it's not skipping. Like it's like dipping. Okay, hang on. Tech issues here. Let me see if we find like another one. Ah boy. Let's go ahead and watch the IGN one because I don't know what's wrong with the down right there. Hopefully this one runs way better. And if it does skip, I'm thinking it might have happened during the showcase.
In this showcase, we'll go over the latest information on Resident Evil Requiem, which will release next month on February 27. Let's take a look at some of the gameplay.
Yeah, you see again, he still has like, I don't know, that thing on his neck.
はい、出ないとは言ってないですね。
Okay, now
い
it's
や言ってない
better.
です。まあ実際あの時も話しましたけど、レオンでもうバチバチのホラーのステージをテストしてみたんですけど、やっぱりこんなレオンあんま見たくなくないっていう意見が大半だったっていうのは事実としてありますね。
Why not? He's
今
cool.
回グレイスとレオンで全然違うゲームになってます。グレイスの方はその RE2 ですとかバイオ7もそうですね、ホラーに特化したゲーム体験になってまして、レオンの方はというとバイオ4に代表されるような緊張感がすごい高いんですけども、そこまでその恐怖に特化してない、まあ、アクションも楽しめるサバイバルホラー、レオンにふさわしい体験が作れてるんじゃないかなとは思ってて、グレイスのホラーと
Holy
レオン
crap.
のアクション2つこう並べて遊ぶことで、今までのバイオハザードではないすごく感情の揺れ幅が大きいゲームになってます。
God
バイオハザー
damn,
ドって
homeboy had the
緊張
Magnum
と
already?
主観のその差っていうのが
How's
一
a
つ
Magnum?
面白さだと思ってるんですけども、すごく緊張して静かなペースで進むグレースのゲームプレイと、もう発散してダイナミックに激しいアクションをする、そういうカタルシスなレオン、大きな意味でその緊張と主観っていう役割としてパートを最適に配置する、まあ、こういう意図で構成してますね。
Wow. Fucking close up of that right there.
レオンとグレース2人とも主人公なんですけども、ストーリーとしては基本的には一つ、ストーリーの中でプレイヤーキャラがグレースになるパートがあって、またレオンがプレイするパートがあると、まあ、そういう構成になってますね。バイオ6の後のレオンの続きですけど、まあ、レオンはレクイエムの段階でも DSO のエージェントとして、まあ、バイオハザードテロと世界のね戦い続けてるってことになってます。彼はたくさんの悲劇を見てきた、おそらく彼今回過去一追い詰められること
So
に
wait,
なると思うので、
post. That means
その
like
辺も注
it's
目してほしいな
after
と
like
思
the
います。
events of like 6? Well, for Leon.
今回のゾンビは生前のその人の特徴っていうのを引き継いでいるゾンビがいます。例えばこの館の中で掃除係の人がいるんですけども、その人はゾンビになってもひたすらこう屋敷をきれいにしようとね掃除を続けてるんですよ。このようにいろんなこう生前の行動に執着するゾンビがいて、ゲームでは彼らの行動を観察して、まあ、うまくかわすのに利用したり倒すのに使うと、
So basically,
こういったことができる
sure,
ようになってます。
we're facing like, psycho zombies. Because literally, it looks like we are about to face some psycho zombies.
I think I want a second opinion.
レオンのゲームプレイは圧倒的な緊張感のある戦闘、 RE4 から進化したサバイバルアクションになっています。
Oh my
トマ
god,
ホ
that
ー
was
クと
cool.
いう 斧を装備しており、それによるパリができます。
What? Whetstone? Sharpened?
で、
Oh my
さらに
god.
洗練されたガンプレーっていうところにも力を入れてますね。
Oh, that was sick.
V を狙って、敵に体術を決める。
God damn.
から敵が持ってい
Wait,
る
so
武器
that
を
means you
奪
can
って
still keep your weapon? Motherfucker, you can.
どの敵を
Wow, I
ど
just.
の部位を
Oh my god.
またどうやって倒すのか。
I literally just got done saying that, like in one of my breakdowns,
さらにこうカタルシスが倍増する。
where like if you kill an enemy that has like a weapon, you take their weapon. I said that in one of my breakdowns.
グレースの
God,
ガンプレーは
Leon is gonna be so fun to play, man.
投資弾
Like,
薬、
oh wow.
脅威となる敵。
I wouldn't be surprised if they took that like a little bit from Monster Hunter because you have to sharpen up your weapon to keep it like fully sharpened.
逃げるのか、そこの判断も非常に重要になってきてます。なので、
Because if you don't, it get dull and like loses its like attack.
それほど重火器いっぱい出てくるわけではないんですけども、一つこう象徴的な武器としてレクイエムっていうそのままタイトルを名を冠した武器が出てきます。この大口径の武器は弾数ほどないんですけど、ここぞという時にグレースを救ってくれる頼りになる武器になってます。
Goddamn one bullet.
実はクラフト要素も
Just like the Punisher before,
そ
went
のアン
right
コロ
through
を作るためには感染したゾンビの血が必要になります。クラフトのリソースになる血っていうのを、つまり敵を倒すのにもまた意味があると。そういう意味でより
Wait, you use blooded crab?
深めるような工夫っていうのは各所に入れてますね。
Oh wow.
That's too effective.
Wow, literally
A
just
variety of gameplay
like
options have also
injecting
been
with some
added to
things they
this title.
implode. Holy crap.
Players can switch between two camera perspectives.
Wow, there is first person with Leon?
These can be changed at any
What?
time during the game. Multiple
Oh
difficulties
my
are
God.
also available. New players can
Standard,
enjoy casual
modern,
mode
Standard
and
classic?
use aim assist to take down zombies with more ease. But if you choose standard classic, ink ribbons will be needed to save the game when playing as Grace.
Oh my god. They
This
brought
mode
it
is
back.
recommended for those who enjoy a tense atmosphere.
Oh wow.
今回、ポルシェさんとコラボレーションさせていただきまして、世界に1台しかない車を作っております。
Oh yeah, they showed this on their Twitter.
Resident Evil and Porsche are two very iconic brands with so much heritage. It's one of those collaborations you're always dreaming of as a gaming fan working in this environment. Collaborations like this obviously don't spawn out of nowhere. For his adventures, Leon needed a car which represents his style, but also delivers when it comes to navigating him through, all of those dangerous moments he experiences in the game.
Why not
What I
a
really
Dodge
admire
Charger
about the custom Resident Evil
RT?
Cayenne Turbo GT
I'm
is
not gonna
how the
lie,
team
Dodge
stayed true
Charger
to its
RT.
characteristics
Oh my
by still
god, man,
ensuring
he
it
looks
feels
fucking cool.
authentic
The
in this
front,
one.
like the front
It took a lot
bumper,
of
the back bumper is
expertise
pretty
from
cool.
different departments at Porsche and
Not to mention, it's
complex
got that
3D
horsepower.
printing to apply those customizations to the rear car. It's going to look amazing in the
Like,
game.
dude, that would have been way better.
今回もう一つ
But I guess they
ハ
decided
ミ
to
ル
go
ト
with this right here.
ンさんと、コラボさせていただきまして、レオンとグレースそれぞれのキャラのイメージをモチーフとした時計を作ってます。
Wow. Can you get that watch?
Two fantastic watch models which
There's my answer.
recreate those worn in the game in all the stunning details. The khaki-filled Autochrono and the Pan-Europe Automatic will be in limited edition, 2,000 pieces each, and will release alongside Resident Evil Requiem on February the 27th. Please stay tuned.
I wonder how much money they like had to spend to get something like this happen. Because I'm gonna
In
say right
addition
now,
to the
those
base game,
watches ain't cheap.
A deluxe edition featuring bonus content will also be available for purchase.
Still more.
Extra costumes for Grace and Leon,
Oh
weapon
wow.
skins, and screen filters will be included in this edition. Those who pre-order will receive an apocalypse costume for Grace. Along with the
I
platform
think that looks
shown,
better for her.
the game will also be available on the cloud gaming service GeForce Now. This title is being developed in collaboration with NVIDIA, so a wide range of PC users can enjoy it.
It's such an honor to work on Resident Evil. The iconic series has been thrilling fans around the world for close to 30 years and has continued to raise the bar for innovation and technology with every single release. We've been working closely with Capcom on Resident Evil Requiem, helping shape the future of the franchise with path tracing for realistic graphics, and AI-powered NVIDIA DLSS 4 with multi-frame generation for incredibly fast performance.
I think they
DLSS
released that
also makes
update for
Resident
like
Evil Requiem
NVIDIA
more accessible
users.
across a wide
I
range
think
of
this week or last
PCs,
week.
extending the nightmare to more gamers.
Because I know they had a
with GeForce
showcase
Now, gamers
for
can
it
experience
at
Resident Evil Requiem
CES.
at launch with the cutting-edge graphics and performance on nearly any device, streaming from powerful GeForce RTX servers in the cloud. I can't wait to unlock the mysteries of Raccoon City once again.
Not only that, 1/6 scale figures of our two protagonists will also be available for purchase. Grace and Leon's figures can be displayed separately or together as a set.
Oh man.
And if you line them up with previous figures, both figures are scheduled for release this fall.
Damn.
An original design Nintendo Switch
It's
2
like literally
Pro
that's kind
controller
of a cool thing
will be
because like you
released
get
on
to
the
see like, you
same
know,
day
like
as the game.
him like transition to different like
And
well the different
as a
styles of it.
series first, Amiibo will also be available.
Oh what?
Please look forward to more information.
Oh, it's gonna probably be Leon and
On
Grace.
Resident Evil Requiem launch day, the gold editions of both Resident Evil Village
Got
and
it.
Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, including all
Got it.
downloadable content, will be released on the Nintendo Switch 2.
Sorry, I was gonna Village too.
We'll also be celebrating 30 years of the series with special concerts. Relive the series' greatest moments with breathtaking orchestral performances. The first ticket lottery is open right now to Resident Evil ambassadors.
Oh, that's cool.
Concerts
You
are
see the
planned for not
zombies
just
like
Japan,
they're
but
even,
North
like
America
playing the
and Europe.
instruments.
More information on these will be released later.
That's right. Elvis.
これもねまだお伝えしてるんですけど、実はレオンにはある秘密があって、そことも関わってくる要素だったり、グレースのお母さんアリスタが殺された、そこにも関わる非常に重要なものになっているので、この辺のねその謎をプレイしてぜひ解き明かしていってもらえればなと思います。バイオハザードレクイエム、まだまだ言いたいこと本当にキリがないんで、発売まで引き続き注目していただければと思います。
That's it.
Why did you kidnap me?
Kidnap you? I liberated you.
I think I want a second opinion.
Yeah. Oh, what?
What's happening here?
Holy crap.
I'll keep our friends busy.
Holy shit, what the hell are you? Okay. Alright. We just literally saw some things here. And they still made Leon a total badass. Like, literally. A goddamn, like, total badass. Now, it's time to see, you know, what they, like, you know, have in store for us here. And I do gotta say, for reals, man, it's like so craziness. Okay, so he did say, the director did say like Leon was not gonna be in like RA9. Even I don't really know how it got started, to be honest. I really don't know how like the whole thing got started of like Leon's gonna be in RA9. Put Leon in RA9. I don't know. I feel like someone must have started out, and then uh I'm guessing someone like basically just spread the word and stuff. Mm. But then he says right here, we actually try to make a genuine horror game with Leon. And it says right here, this footage is from the initial development stage. It will not appear in the final version of the game. Meaning that like this was the next Resident Evil game that they were actually developing. And it does look like, it did get pretty far. Because I mean, what was that? There was something there. Oh wait, actually, wait, I got a better idea. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about that. We're gonna use this here because I mean we've seen it already. We're done with it. You know. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Much better. Right. We switch over to the YouTube one. 'Cause like I said, when I was watching this one right here, it just I don't know, kind of wigged out a bit. But it's gonna be anyway. Okay. So Leon was supposed to be in it, but the thing is, from what they know already, like people already know for the fact he's an action guy. Leon has always been an action kind of person. And it does look like he was going to be in it. But they kind of changed it now. So it does look like in this part right around here. I want to slow this down. 0.5. Yeah, better. Okay. So this is Grace's part here. And I don't really think like, she's technically somewhat like inside where you start, and it doesn't look like it. It looks like you're in like a different area, or you could probably, or this could probably maybe just maybe be like, okay, so she's now in a different part of this big giant mansion, or maybe she went on her own after Leon dropped her off somewhere that she had it to go, and now she's in this new area here. So she's off to do her own thing, and Leon is off to do his own thing. Pretty sure that's what it is. So it's two things. She's still in the ding, like, mansion, however, or, like I said before, it could be like after they wrapped up whatever they did, those two got in Leon's car. She told Leon to take me to this building here, and then like after she drops her off at this building she wants to go to ever, I'm pretty sure that, well, I don't know if she gets like a weapon or not, but I'm pretty sure like, well, around the beginning, I don't know. No, I don't think she does. Probably not. Um, but pretty sure like, Leon drops her off, but he ends up giving her like a weapon, to protect herself from like whatever is going to be inside this building that she has to go to. And once, like, she's dropped off, Leon gave her the weapon, she's off to do her own thing. And then Leon is off to go do his own thing next. Maybe, like, like somewhere within the city that they're both in, or he probably does go to, like, Raccoon City, the ruins of, like, Raccoon City. So I'm probably thinking it's probably going to be something like that. And from the way it looks, they already confirmed that Grace's is literally nothing but hiding. You're just hiding. You don't want to like get into any combat whatsoever. Whereas if Leon, however, as you see like right here, you know, don't worry about the choppiness. That's on like the YouTube thing. The one I was watching was on IGN's official website. Well, pretty sure you guys said that already, but whatever. Anyways, like yeah, you see like right here, like literally his whole action is so like he's able to do like a roundhouse kick. We didn't get to see no suplex, so it does kind of suck, you know, that there is none. Maybe there might be. It looks like a finisher too. Like, god damn. And then this right here is like technically at the beginning of it. Where this big giant creature, like, you know, chases you around. And this one here, it does look like you're in the area where Grace's is at. God damn, man. I cannot believe you get like a powerful like weapon right at the beginning. So we are still seeing more, so it looks like she's still technically um within the basement. Again, that's the video. I mean, I would use the other one, but it doesn't have like any other slowdown. So just work with me on this here. So again, we're seeing this right here. Like, it feels like, you know, she's not able to confront, you know, like any of this stuff right here. Like literally, she's like not able to confront like any enemies. Her basic thing is just all stealth. Just like in like well, basically like, you know, like any type of horror type of game, you know, towards like your only method is like either run or hide. And that's kind of like, you know, the basis of like these horror games, you know. And to really say for reals, it is kind of like, you know, like a surprising type of thing that they gave for like Grace, you know, where her only method is just to hide and somehow like do a little bit of fighting, but it feels like, you know, you're not able to actually like, you know, like do any attacking so whatsoever, you know, because you only have like, you know, like a limited amount of like ammo you have, you know. So it's like I would say for Grace's, you have to be careful and you have to make sure like, you know, you conserve your weapons, you know, because again, I feel like, you know, well, she is like, you know, part of the FBI, so she got training, but it feels like, you know, that like she's in a weird environment, a new environment, like with these like crazy psycho zombies, and like she hardly has like, you know, like any like, you know, like experience like, you know, dealing with these sort of things. Whereas like Leon, however, Homeboy has a ton of experience because he experienced this sort of thing back in Resident Evil 2, you know, and he knows what to do anyway. He's been dealing with this since 2, and like something like that right there, like an execution style, which is pretty cool, and able to switch weapons on the fly here. God damn. Yeah, hold on a minute. Yeah, figures. I figured they would darken that out. Okay, so we've seen this before already. We've seen that. We've seen that. Now, they talk about this like new breed of infected. So he says right here, there are zombies that retain characteristics from when they were alive. Like we see this dude right here, you know, just chopping away something, you know. So he's like a chef, and he's like, you know, trying to chop something, like whatever it could be, you know. And then right here, well, we see a maid here, you know, like literally. We don't like using a maid, and she's like, you know, cleaning the mirror, but also like, you know, like hitting the mirror at the same time with her head, you know. So as I was watching this here, it feels like you're dealing with psycho zombies. Like it maybe kind of feels like that like well again these people have like like characteristics but like got infected, but this sort of virus is like literally like a way to keep them like have this same characteristics more and more. Like you see some like lady in like a white dress, like just like I don't know, thinking she's in a dance, and this dude right here waiting for an elevator to like uh come by, you know. So it is kind of crazy, how like this new virus is like literally alternating their like normal day life and just like thinking like in their minds that like oh I need to go here and go there or but if like they confront like something like like the player however then well they're gonna like literally go after them go aggro and this is kind of like like a new thing that they're actually going for with like the whole zombie aspect because the thing is like we know for a fact like in Resident Evil 1 like they were people who worked for Umbrella in the Spencer Mansion, but something went horribly wrong, and that's when like, everything like like went to shit. And literally, that's when everybody got infected by the virus. Like it spread. You know, like it spread to like every single like like Umbrella employee. It also like like let loose like these like bioweapons. Like Cerberus, the Hunter. Um, who else? Yeah, Cerberus the Hunter and the big giant spiders. And I think that's really it. I know there's probably more, but I might missing some things, but um, yeah, it does feel like, that was like, the whole basis of like the virus. Then like Resident Evil 2, sitting like before, but you also felt, like new bioweapons. Resident Evil 3, same thing, but you have a huge, giant, hulking bioweapon, like, it's going after, like, Jill and Carlos, which is codename Nemesis. And then 4, um, basically people were infected with this ancient, like, what was it? An ancient type of, like, plague. They call it the Las Plagas. And that's when they literally like injected like everybody like with the like the plagas. I mean the adults were able to actually like like ascertain like the whole like virus. you know but with the little ones they weren't able to because they were weak. you know I mean that's the same thing like, in RE2. I mean I hate to bring this up, but the orphanage like that like Umbrella like funded was a way to actually like like have these like like orphans get like adopted and then like think that will go into a family, but no, they're heads like this like um, I think there's like laboratory where they experimentations on them and see like like if anybody could withstand it, and no, they did not. And that's what they took from like 2 and put in 4. That's why you see no children. It's all adults. And then 5, however, was the Ouroboros, which they took like like records from the Las Plagas from the Leon Kennedy case. 6, I can't really say anything for 6, because I never played for 6. Um, I don't know. I don't know much about 6. Because I know there was like a virus, like and like went haywire, then like got people infected, so now Um, 7, however, 7 like like went a different way and put a new infection called the mold, and it's supposed to like like literally like like infect like people and turn them into like these big giant like like mutated like mold like bioweapons. And we know that Evelyn was like the cause of the whole thing because the Bakers were like victims of like of Evelyn and literally messing with their mind and infecting them with the mold, which kind of explains like like Jack like never dies, he always comes back. Um, who else? Marguerite. Well, she gets to become mutated and like literally become like like a hive for the bugs. Lucas, however, well, he somewhat gets infected, but he like gets himself, but like also gets infected again when he's having to find out about Chris. Zoe, she technically does somehow get infected, but she's able to keep her sanity and like like hide from her family, and she knows she can't leave because like Evelyn is like gonna like figure out that like she's affected. She wants to leave, but she can't because it's not gonna work. I mean, it explains like why Ethan like is there, and that's when she tells him that like you're the first person to like literally ever to like make it this far. Nobody else wasn't because I asked for help, and whenever like like anybody would come by to help out, they would like ultimately like meet their end with one of the bakers. So it explains like like why many people have been missing. And why people like like got like some kind of distress signal from like Zoe, however, saying they need help, but it won't happen because like they would die and then like become like the next mold. So it was pretty like crazy for that one right there. But we know like like Joe Baker like ends up like finishing up like Jack once and for all, you know. And then for Resident Evil 8 Village, well, I feel like like it is definitely like something like virus of the mold, however, but they call it the metamycete or the metamycete, I think, which infected like like people and like really like transforming into like like many things, and we know that what was it? I forget her name. Oh, Mother Miranda. Yeah, she was like the scientist like who like literally messed up that part of like Europe and like infecting like all these people and like had like a special like breed of like, experimentation like and well technically it didn't meet its end like around like at the end of Village, and now with like Resident Evil 9, however, now this like new like virus has got people like literally um like become these well like I said before, they're like psycho zombies now, like literally, and it's like messing up their mind, and they're not themselves anymore. So yeah, they are technically zombies. They are infected, but they're psycho zombies, and all they're doing is just doing their thing. However, but it's still kind of creepy, and they still are dangerous. They are considered dangerous, however, So it does feel like like confronting these things is pretty kind of wacky. You know, I mean. Like this dude, for example, right here. I mean, you think like, oh, he's just a normal person, but no. If you watch closely, however, he's not normal. You see his skin, like, really jacked up. You know, that means they're not human. They're infected, and you know damn well it's not like gonna be like, oh, well, maybe we can save him. No, you don't. You can't. They're beyond saving. So that is kind of like like a somewhat like great thing. They're taking this like game to like a whole nother level. So it's still the same. They're infected with a virus. They're considered zombies now, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. So with this right here, with like Leon's gameplay, I know everybody cannot wait to play him. And like I said before, in my last breakdown of Requiem, I said this before. If you kill an enemy and they have like a chainsaw, like what you just saw right now, they drop the item, and all you need to do is just finish them off. And once they drop the item, you can actually use the item. And I cannot believe I was right on the money on that one. And this right here is something they took from fucking Monster Hunter. Literally. This is something they literally took from Monster Hunter, man. And I'll see that I'll I'm gonna rewind that because that looked pretty badass. I mean, he gets a hatchet, and I cannot believe it. You can bring its sharpness back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it goes back. So you see like right here. Because there's the gauge right here, you know? And look at that. So it brings it back to the full. So from what we're seeing is that you're able to parry, which is it's a pretty nifty thing to have, you know? And he had that sort of thing in Resident Evil 4 Remake, you know? But the thing was, once the knife was done, you can't do nothing about it unless you have like a backup knife. But the thing is, like, you know, you have your main knife, but you have like a way to get more knives, which acts as a temporary, like, secondary, like, weapon and a parry weapon too, you know, and also to execute like your enemies too. But it was only like it had like a limited use. Once it was done, it's done, you know. And then if you have like a backup one, it automatically like puts like, you know, like the other knife with the one that was broken off, so that we can continue like, you know, use the knife more and more and more. But another thing is that in order to have the knife restored, you have to go to the merchant, and as long as you're able to give the money to the merchant to really help out your weapon by giving it like more durability, more strength, then that's actually pretty good. So that means like, you know, you can still do some more parrying, do some more like execution stealth style, and still have enough durability left. But I'm kind of thinking right here, they were probably thinking like, well, we don't want the player to like literally like go through the whole thing again, like having it break and then use another knife, you know, and then like if that breaks and they have no weapons, then they're just sitting ducks and they can't really do nothing, and then probably like might have to like load up their save or like just try to see if you can find anything to combat the enemies. Like I don't really know for sure if people kind of hated that or not, you know. But I mean, Nukem Plus, like, you know, you get like a knife that has like infinite durability. So, like, trying to look for a knife is like out the window. But now with this right here, you're able to actually still keep your hatchet, and all you need to do is just sharpen up your weapon. But it kind of feels like, you know, you better be careful, you know, like how you sharpen and when you sharpen, because, like, literally you had to like sharpen it when like there's no enemies around or you finish off an enemy, you know, and then you're able to actually sharpen up your weapon again. So you had to make sure you sharpen up your weapon, you know. God, that was so cool. So you have to make sure, like, you know, you sharpen up your weapon, you know, and get it back up to its full. Because if not, you won't be able to parry, which is something you really, really need, especially for like a chainsaw enemy. You know, like for reals. God, man, that's so fucking cool. So yeah, it says right there, you can take it. I swear to God, man, we better see Leon do a goddamn suplex. And goddamn was right. I mean, you can like literally, goddamn having to part your head, dude. And literally, go watch my last breakdown, and I just said like, you know, you can take their weapon when you take them down. Okay, so yeah, we did see like, you know, like in the last one, it did have a gauge. So I don't really know if it has like, like a limited time. Holy hell. Okay, so we're seeing this right here. So when he's doing the execution animation, right, like right around here, right, like he kicks it against the wall. Then you see the prompt. Then you do this right here. Now I'm looking like right there on the gauge where his weapon is. And it looks like when you're doing this sort of thing like right here, um, it doesn't deplete the gauge. So that's actually a good thing right there. I kind of figured that was his health. But you do this right here, well, it looks like it only takes it down like a square. So you're still technically fine. Look if you kicked him in the nuts. It'll look like he kicked him in the nuts. But, ah. God damn, how strong are your legs, Leon? Jesus. That's pretty nuts. Okay, so here we have like Grace with scarce ammo and terrifying enemies. So you don't really have that much ammo. You either run or fight. But you take a look and don't even notice her. And I can see like, she has no ammo. Like you literally just seen right now she had no ammo in her weapon. I feel like, that big gun, I would say, that's like last resort. Because you take like right here, boom! Takes out both of them at the same time. Just like the Punisher in RE4. Because it has like piercing bullets and it can pierce like through the enemies, which is like okay. But this right here, when he said like right here, um a unique spin on the crafting system. So it looks like this right here is something they added too. Where like you take the blood from the down enemies. So you're seeing like the UI right here. Escape the care center. Unlock the door in the central hall. Find the place the quartz. Take the child to the puzzle box? What? Child? That's weird. Well, looks like you do have like ammo right here. That one, I'm guessing it's scrap metal. That's the green herb. That's the ammo. That's the injector she gets. Her current weapon. Her current health. This is definitely the map. This is the crafting. This is the files here. I kind of figured. So she gets scrap, makeshift knife, mixed herb, mixed herb, mixed herb, Humulec injector, handgun ammo. Okay, so she can still get ammo, which is pretty cool. But in order to make the ammo, she needs scrap and injected blood. That's kind of weird. Like, you actually make ammo from the injected blood? That's kind of crazy. Hemolytic injector, a special drug that destroys infected blood cells, prevents corpses from mutating, and can be used to stealthily take out enemies. Okay, so that's what it does, but holy hell, that requires a lot. And we saw it in action, because, well, you only have like whatever you have with you. And then when you use it, she injects them with it. And then all of a sudden, they just implode. Like, they just literally, like, implode. There's like nothing of them no more. They're gone. Like, holy hell, that's nuts. But I think we know why they only like say like, they're putting like 60 for this one and only like one here. Is like, I'm gonna probably say this. It's probably like something that you're gonna probably like need to use strategically. If there's gonna be like an enemy of some kind that's gonna like be in the way of your path, that's you're probably thinking in your mind, I'm gonna take this enemy out because I do feel like I'm gonna have to come back here and run away from something, and this enemy is gonna be in my way, and I do not want that. So I'm really thinking that it's something like that, like because this is a one-time thing, but you have to use it like behind an enemy. That's the only way. I mean, I don't really think you could use it like like facing them because there's no way you can inject it. You gotta use it from behind. So it seems pretty amazing how like they both have like their own way of stealth killing an enemy. With Leon, he uses his hatchet, but it dwindles down the gauge. For Grace, she needs to craft this right here, the hemolytic injector, with one scrap and 60 in let's just say blood. With the blood, or injected blood, let's just say. Or infected blood, okay. Infected blood. So with the infected blood in this scrap, you make this thing right here, the hemolytic injector. And then you use it on, like, the enemy. But the only thing is you can only kill, like, like 100. And it feels like, that, like, if you really, really, really need it, you know? Oh, man. I really do feel like, you're gonna have to probably strategically, like, use it with, like, the scrap. But you also gotta make sure you have ammo, too. So I would say you have to balance this thing out. Like, no joke. You really have to balance this thing out, like for reals. To like either you want to like make a weapon that's like a one-time use, depending on how many you have left, or you want to like, make more ammo so that way you're able to like fight these sort of zombies here. Well, it's like your choice. And I am curious about the makeshift knife, however. I am pretty sure you probably need scrap for this right here. And maybe it's almost like the hemolytic injector. Maybe like you use it to like take down enemies and stuff. That's really, really, really what I'm thinking of. So at least it gives like Grace the opportunity to like find a way to like do this right here, you know, so that way she can like move on. But again, it's like your choice, you want to or not. But you have to make sure you have like, at least some spare scraps and get like injected blood too. So this is something we probably never knew. Oh, there's a model of the damn thing. I mean, we already kind of knew for the fact that Grace was gonna have a first person and a third person perspective that you can switch, no problem at all, because they said it already, Because people want to play either in first, or they want to play in third, or they want to like, and let's see how it is in like third person or first person type of thing. Which is a pretty good feature to have. But for this right here, I did not really think Leon would have a first person, and he's never in first person. Most of the games, like he had was like third person. Well, besides like two, because technically two that was like fixed camera. But for the remake, however, that was like uh, third person. So I don't know. This is actually pretty exciting, like like playing the perspective in like Leon, which is pretty nuts. And we're seeing the options right here too. We got controls, camera, HUD, graphics, audio. So that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. You're able to just like switch on the fly. So I want to see, like this right here, the difficulties. So standard modern, a balanced experience of suspense and accomplishment at the standard difficulty found among modern Resident Evil games. This game mode can be changed to casual on the game over screen. So basically, it just has like auto saves. Relax while enjoying the story and puzzles. It's like if you don't want to deal like many things, and you just want to like enjoy it. And this one here, the standard classic, however, is bring it back, the old school way of like Resident Evil. A traditional experience with a difficulty similar to classic Resident Evil games, recommended for long-term fans of the series. Autosaves during Grace's gameplay are limited, and ink ribbons are required to save. So this means right here, autosaves will only save at a certain point within the game. But if you want to like save your game, you have to do it the old school way and find ink ribbons and then save. Which, well, again, people don't really mind, because it's a good way to like rotate your saves out and stuff. So it seems pretty cool that they're doing this right here. But I would say for reals, it looks like there's no hard mode. Usually, like the remix of the game, like you get like hard mode right out the bat, you know. But we only have like casual, standard modern, and standard classic. Standard modern is like basically like auto save. Standard classic, it will have auto saves, but you still need to find ingredients to save the game. So I don't think that's not that bad. I say Mehotep. It doesn't. Well, we're seeing like this right here too. So it looks like right here, this looks like a book. This right here is the gun. Looks like that's about it. Huh. I wonder what the book is technically for. But you know what? I still say this is actually pretty cool that they're doing this sort of thing. Like literally, I'm kind of glad, like, they're actually like doing this sort of thing to like bring it back to like the modern and to the classic. So it seems pretty cool. And I kind of talked about this right here, like Project Elvis, and I already like gave my say about the whole thing. But he says right around here. So this is Leon bears a secret within the game. Yeah, like right around here. To White House, Steve, Chief of Staff, blank from blank. Security clearance level 9, top secret. Raccoon City is blank, blank, blank for the sake of Alphys. Commence blank. So, um, it says right here like Leon has some kind of like way, like something has to do with her. Because I feel like, like this right here regarding like the murder of Grace's mother, Alyssa, you know? Because I feel like, there's something that like her mother did in the past. Like maybe like, she discovered like Project Elpis. And the thing is like probably was on the run and like maybe had to take her daughter with her to safety, because like if she left her daughter, someplace where she was not there to protect her, she knew this mysterious group was going to come after her, kidnap her, and probably, demand like, the secrets of like Project Elpis that like maybe her mother has like, doing some investigation on for like quite a while, you know. But unfortunately, since she's gone, and well, she grew up and she became like, like an FBI agent. However, she ends up like, falling into the role of like this whole Project Elvis type of thing. So that means whatever he knows about Project Elvis, I'm pretty sure like he's gonna probably like, like end up telling her, like what it is. Because you see right here, like how like this like a virus thing is like how it's able to consume like the human body and how it's like made like like all like grayish, like all grayish looking and let me see. Yeah, right here, like all grayish looking, like uh I would say the skin cells and the blood vessels what's inside the body, like is like literally like decomposing, you know, like it's dying, but it's like being taken over by like this virus. So this right here is like when he has to go back to Raccoon City. And pretty sure we'll find out, like what's her connection with Project Elvis too, and what Leon might know about like Project Elvis. God damn, you can see the veins in this guy here. So now for right here. So yeah, like right around here. This is actually like, right here to literally like, find out about like this whole thing. Like she want answers from like this dude. So now we get to see like more of this guy right here. And we saw in the picture that like Leon had with him. The picture like, of him with his colleagues, but he's like some kind of crazy doctor dude. And he has something to do with this whole thing, you know. I mean, even though he's like covering up like part of his face, but like you said right here, like he is literally like somewhat jacked up. Like I don't know what in the world he did to himself, but it just feels like like he probably went through some things, to become like this right here, maybe an experiment. So he probably went through some things, but he's able to still keep like his sanity, you know. But the big question is, like, what would be his connection, you know, with like Grace, however? Because this is, I'm pretty sure, like right around here, um, this is still continuing, like what happened, when Grace confronted him. In the last trailer we saw, she did confront him, and we're seeing now more, a little bit of an extended cutscene of this right here too, you know? Oh, no, 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 it's not. Because, like, no, no, no. She met him in the room. Yeah, that was totally different. So when he says to her, "I liberated you," there has to be something there, you know? Like literally, there has to be something there that kind of explains the whole thing. Because again, she is just there. She's a victim of like a kidnapping from this guy here. And all she wants to find out is the answer she wants, you know? But the thing is like, it's a mystery that she has to literally um find out, you know? Like literally, it's a mystery that only she must find out, you know, about like what's going on. Why is this person going after Grace? What is so special about her? And what would be her connection with Project Elphys? Because this right here is a mystery. And we know we saw already with the director saying, you know, like Leon also has this theory too, you know, that like is gonna probably be a random outcome of her finding out what has been going on and why is he doing this to her. And being in this environment with crazed out zombies is like literally something she never been in. But going through like many like obstacles along the way, she's bound to literally find the answer to this whole mystery that has been from the beginning. Ever since like, you know, she was kidnapped to this hospital and then literally just me and this dude right here. And to also like, you know, find out like, you know, like what did her mother hide in the painting? We know it was a suitcase. We get that. But we had to figure out what was behind. Oh, sorry, what was inside of the suitcase. You know, like what could it be? Like, could it be like anything related to Project Alpus? Could it maybe like, you know, relate to like, well, I'm pretty sure like, you know, it has to relate to Grace, Project Alpus. Maybe like, you know, this like been going around since like, I would say, you know, like something happened around like, you know, like maybe around her birth, maybe around when she was a child, or it could be literally anything that went on in her past. And now it feels like, you know, like her mother's past and her past is like catching up now. And with her mother gone, her mother's past is now catching up to her to where like this is about to go down as a way for her to solve this like big mystery on what this has to do with her, her deceased mother, and this dude right here that is conducting this so-called Project Elphys. Because I feel like, you know, he's the ringleader and he is like literally trying to get this so-called Project Alphys like going on. I don't really know what it is. I don't know what Project Alphys could literally be. Because it could be like, you know, like this like I would say, you know, like this new man-made virus humans probably have made and infect like, you know, these sort of like people, you know, that we'll be seeing like, you know, to retain like, you know, like their way, like, you know, like the chef he's cutting something, the maid's like, you know, like clean something, the dude in the suit waiting for an elevator to come down, the woman in the white dress like, you know, thinking she's like, you know, she's dancing or something like that, you know, but they're both infected zombies. And it feels like, you know, Project Elvis is sort of something like that, you know, like for reals. So pretty much I don't think the developers don't want to give like, you know, too much like information, you know, they don't want to give away like, you know, like too many, you know, because it feels like, oh, like what's done, okay, go. Because it feels like, you know, that like They want to keep it a secret, you know. Oh, there's the makeshift knife right there. Man, I can't believe he loses the jacket again. Okay, we're seeing this right here. So was it Grace who confronts him or Leon? I think it's definitely Grace. Okay, you know what? I'm guessing they're calling this the big baby right here. Because we saw them, well, we saw the thing what they call it the mother. And this right here is basically the big baby. Because it looks like it. But you know what? Taking a look at this right here, you're probably not even gonna figure out, you know, like where, like they. I mean, well, actually, it is part of the Capcom IP, but it's technically dead. But you know what? This right here, I'm gonna say right now, they literally took the design from Bobby Barrows, the big, giant, lumpy, mutated, baby-looking thing. No, 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 no. Bobby was the second one, and Dan was the yeah. There are two of them. They were twins. So it was Bobby and Dan. Bobby's the one that chases you around. Dan is the one that you know that is in the first one. Like, I'll probably show you right now. I'll show you. Let me see if I can find it. So let me see. Okay, so basically it's like this right here. You know, like you can see like you know a somewhat comparison of it. So you see, well this is just a digital sketch of it, but yeah, it's somewhat like it, but it's technically not. You know, but it's like a 3D version of it. So, and then right around here, you know, it does look like it though. Oh yeah, the whole ending type of thing. So yeah, I'm really thinking like, you know, like they based off the design off of Dan Barrows. I know it's creepy looking, I know, but this is from Clock Tower, the first one. That's what I was like saying, you know, like it's somewhat like it, but well, I don't really like, you know, like see like something. Let me see. Like, you know what I thought of something here? Yeah. Yeah, look. Look at this right here. You see this? His eye's here, eye is not. Eye is here, eye is a little bit there, but it's just like a little closed off. But, dude, literally, it just looks like it. You know? Literally, it looks like it, but it's like, it's just switched. It's literally just switched around, you know? Yeah, you guys can see it, but yeah. You see what I mean? Like right there. You know, right there. You know, because well, telling you, let you all know right now, like Capcom, like, you know, I did get the IP for like Clock Tower. Because why you think like you know, like it was like published by Capcom, Clock Tower 3. So there you go. But anyways, I would say, this is a mixture of like Dan Barrows because of this right here, and also the big giant mutated baby that chases you around in Resident Evil Village. Because it has the mouth, and we know like what the baby's mouth like look like, in like Village, however, but it sort of does look like it, man. Like it's a mixture of both, like the baby from Seven, and then Dan Barrows, like like this 3D design from Clock Tower. Well, this is from the intro to Clock Tower too, but this is actually him right here, you know. I know the eye is supposed to be on the other side, like this right here, but um, yeah, it's sort of different. But yeah, it does sort of look like it though, like literally, like there is some similarities. There is some similarities, like to like the design of it, but it just sort of looks like it. It's just that the eyes are switched, like from its perspective, like the left eyes like like all open, the right eyes like like a little closed, or this one right here, the right eye is open, but the left eye is like not existent or like gone, or it's still there, but it's like kind of like well, that shit right there. Um, but yeah, I do see like like a good similarity to it. That's why people not gonna know about it. The only way anybody knows about this is like you play Clock Tower. Most people say, "Oh, it's like the big giant like baby from like Seven." Well, I can say like yeah for reals, but you see the face, however, the face it looks sort of similar to like the face like Dan Barrows, So I highly doubt like anybody's gonna get that. Some will, some won't, But again, that's like sort of my guess, like for reals. But this is gonna be so crazy when you're running from this big giant hulking baby, like for reals. But I'm thinking that's pretty much it. I don't think they're gonna probably do like any more showcase for Requiem, because I'm thinking this is done. Pretty sure this is like totally done. Because let's just see real quick. Yeah, because on the 27th, that's when it comes out. So my guess is probably they're not gonna be doing any more showcases. Probably not. They're not gonna be doing like any more showcases because I feel like they're just talking about the gameplay a little bit more about like what is going on with like the whole game, But um literally they don't want to talk about it anymore because they want to keep people in the dark, which I really do say that like they should, you know? Like they definitely should like keep people in the dark and like have people like come up with theories, come with things to say like what is this whole thing had to do with Grace? What is Project Elvis? What is Leon like gonna be doing here and how is he fitting in with the whole plot of like the game, And especially like with this dude here, like with his connection with Grace and Project Elvis. Like what's his gain? Like what does he have to gain from doing something like this right here with kidnapping Grace and finding out, about like this special thing that she sort of has, But also not to mention, like the finding like the murder of like her mother too, you know. So there's like many things like they really want to tackle, but they had to keep it like on secret, because the thing is they don't want to reveal way too much, you know, because this game is like coming out like real soon. It's right around the corner. And like I said before, they don't want to like do any more showcases. They're done. Like literally. I mean, maybe like like do more like interviews, however, about like to promote the game and like what they're going through, you know. But again, I feel like Capcom does not want to give away any more information. like they're done. And we kind of figured out, that they didn't want to release a demo, which is understandable, you know. So there's no demo. They didn't announce it. They didn't talk about it or nothing. Besides like saying, no demo. Just wait for the game to be out, you know. So the only thing we could definitely say for reals is that we just gotta wait for the game. Am I excited for it? Yes. I mean, to literally play like both Grace's and Leon's like gameplay, you know, with a bit of a mixture of like horror, running, and hiding to horror actiony. That's pretty much it. That kind of like sums up like Leon's and Grace's type of thing, you know. But I'm kind of thinking like maybe as the game progresses and as you like play Grace, maybe she probably confronts her fears. Like she doesn't become like the person who is like not scared anymore. I'm pretty sure they'll probably happen around like the final bit of it, where it's like she like somehow gains she becomes like more courageous, and starts to like take down like enemies no problem at all. It's like, oh, I used to be scared of you, but now no more. I want to kick your ass type of thing. Like it might happen, maybe, you know. But right now, all she's doing is just like running and hiding. And I'm pretty sure, I guess in mine, the more you keep playing as her and you see her make progress, the more it does feel like, she's about to like, be like, well, almost become like Leon or like Jill and Claire, you know? Like, ends up like becoming like, like a person who don't give a damn and just wants to kick your ass. Like, literally. Like, she's not like, like old, like old spies now. She grew a backbone. She grew a backbone, and now she's like there to literally like no more hiding, no more this, no more that. I'm ready to take you down, type of thing. Might happen, maybe not, but that's my guess. But anyways, yeah, that's about it. That's whole thing, the basis of like Resident Evil Requiem. And like I said before, I don't think they're gonna be doing any more showcasing. They're probably like maybe do like a little bit like of like interviews and stuff with like like the other like medias and stuff. But yeah, this is the final showcase for it. Like they're done. They're super done with it. All they gotta do now is just work hard on the game till like it's ready to go. Maybe do some more like maybe do some more like little work on it, and then like get ready like, to release the game. Because all of February, like it's gonna be nothing but like a countdown to the release for Resident Evil Requiem. And I'm inclined to actually, be hyped to like play Requiem soon when it does come out. So yes, this is actually gonna be a pretty exciting game. I mean, I'm like really gonna be so excited to see like where this game is gonna go. Where is it gonna take Leon? Where's it gonna take Grace? And um, see how like it's like play in a different way, different perspective, like So yeah, I can't wait. I really cannot wait to play this game once is out. And oh boy, am I gonna have fun with it. I might do modern, maybe just maybe do modern or classic, whatever, like it is. But uh, I'll probably say what the other functionalities it will have, like for the game when it does come out. So that's basically it. So what we can do now is just wait for the game to come out on the 27th of February. So be ready for that day of Requiem. That is going to be so great. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be like GOATY, but we can't say it until like, like most of us actually beat the game. But man, I can't wait to play Leon, man. He's so fucking cool. He's a damn badass, man. Like literally. Leon will always become the badass he's always been since 4. No matter what. Leon is like super cop badass.